Hey everyone, hope you're well. So in this video, I'm going to explain what we did to a client of ours. Now, the reason I'm recording this is because, well, most of our clients come through referrals, but for the ones that don't, I want to record this to, well, show what we do and show some proof, right? So most of you probably already know, but this agency, I never really intended to build this. This happened, well, actually on accident, because, well, I just wanted to help one venue that worked incredibly well. We absolutely smashed it. And then we decided to, well, why not create Heidraxity, right? I basically used all of the tricks and everything I learned on human psychology in the e-commerce space, e-commerce advertising, and we tried it for entertainment venues, and it worked like an absolute charm, right? Just wanted to say that the reason I want to say that is because, well, this agency is, to be honest, mostly for fun. Um, I really enjoy doing this, but for that reason, I'm not a big fan of like the email tennis going back and forth. I don't want to sound like a whatever. But I like when things go smoothly. So if after this video you are interested, just email us back and we'll get things rolling. And if not, no problem at all. Okay, so let's get started. So who is this client? This client is a virtual reality venue in the United States. They started off like this. So firstly, well, a month before working with us, they had spent $700 on TikTok with zero return, not a single booking. Their website was not converting well because, well, they had a lot of clicks, like an incredible, huge amount of clicks, but nobody was booking. They were relying on Google Ads and word of mouth, which is super unreliable because you have no idea how that's going to work within, well, next week or next month. And, well, then the revenue never really recovered after COVID, which is a very common thing. Well, we actually really like to get venues back to their pre-COVID levels, right? That's usually a big goal of ours if they existed before COVID. So what happened? So, all right, these are well, the points that they were struggling with. That resulted in a huge lack of predictability. So no idea what next week or next month, or they were going from packed Saturdays and Sundays and then suddenly empty Mondays through Wednesdays through Thursdays. Well, we like to fill those empty weekday slots, right? Because most people think, oh, those people are working this and that. Well, there are enough people that do have time around those spots. So yeah, so that's a very common belief people have. Now, inconsistent income, which then for this client, right, result into having to almost fire staff that have been with them for over 5 years, and their personal relationships got impacted. We actually had a great conversation with him about what was going on in his life and was not looking good. So now, what changed? Well, TikTok became their most profitable source of income. With, like, next month after they had spent the $700, we got them 50K return with $3,200 ad spend. High conversion rate on the website. No more people clicking away without booking, or just huge amount of people not booking. Doesn't happen anymore. No more relying on unpredictable systems. No more guessing what next week is going to look like. Now they just have a system. I know if I turn it on, I will get this amount of bookings. It's as simple, and it should be that simple. Revenue back to back revenue back to pre-COVID times. Incredible. No more worrying about upcoming bookings, consistent income. They kept all the staff, even needed more, and all of their personal issues were resolved. Now, how? So how do we do this? Right? Let's talk about how. So the thing is with this, right? So a lot of entertainment venues, they're pretty good at doing business. They're pretty good at running their business. But what mostly happens is they try to wear all of these hats. They're the sales guy, they're the game master, they're the tech guy, the IT, the whatever, marketing, all they try to wear all these hats, and that does not work, right? Sometimes you just need, it almost sounds like I'm really trying to sell myself here, but even if you don't sign on with us, I truly mean this. Sometimes you need people from the outside that are truly good at what they do when it comes to selling and get them in your business. You are good at what you do. If you find someone that also does this for entertainment venues, that's the key point. Don't hire regular general advertisers. It doesn't work. Go for the ones that already have done it for entertainment venues, right? So yeah, just want to say that. Okay, I'm not going to make this a coaching session. Very, very streamlined, very, very straight to the point. First, we gather attention. We run 20 to 30 to 40 cold ads in the beginning. We're just trying to make people familiar with the venue. All of the videos are based on human psychology. All of them are very fast paced, making sure they keep on watching with very strong hooks. That's the goal here. Then we retarget all of these people, break their preconceived notions, break every single reason why they may not come to the venue. We solve them, we explain what it is, we show them testimonials, everything they need to see. They have no more reason to not book. Then we give them some sort of an offer, some sort of a coupon code. Then they become a lead by giving us their personal information. Then we follow up with them until they either opt out or tell us to leave us alone or finally come to the location. That's basically what we do. Every single part of this system is based on human psychology, all made with psychological triggers. And that's how all this works. Well, a quick bonus tip, if I didn't say it on the first call already, big part of all of this is mirroring. If you are able to show the emotions that people are feeling while going through your venue, if you can capture that and, well, create videos out of it, not just capture and post it, doesn't work. Really have to, well, analyze viral hooks, pair it with that, and the viewer will get the same emotion that the person on the screen is having. And that emotion is what gets them to book and come to the location. You're not selling them a VR session. You're not selling them an escape room session. You're not selling them a karting session. You're selling them the fun, the joy, the emotion, right? Okay, I was not going to turn this into a coaching session, but I'll stop there when it comes to that. Now, let's go to proof. Yeah, let me show you. Let me go through the ad account. Also, before I go there, another thing that this video is probably going to be watched by a couple hundred people. If you and a bunch of them are not going to hop on board with us, well, for multiple reasons. Maybe they're not interested, but maybe they're not qualified from our end. If you decide to go with another agency, then I highly suggest to ask them what I am about to do. I am going to go inside the ad accounts and I'm going to share, well, everything you need to see, right? Ask them to refresh the pages as I will be doing, and only then hop on board. If they don't do that, that means they're hiding something, right? Okay, enough. Let me continue. All right, so for this client, as you can see, I also had explained it a little earlier. They had spent $700 and they got zero in return. Absolutely nothing. The tracking was perfect. There was no problems with the tracking. Also, I also want to I want you to remember something as well. So here we had 12,800 clicks, or they had 12,800 clicks. This was before they were working with us. 12,800. I want you to remember that number. Also, I mean, these CTRs, they look very high, I know, but you have to also, I mean, looks some of them they spent like $7, and that's why they're so high. But also, there's two things, right? If your landing page is garbage, then people are not going to book, right? Then if you're targeting to the wrong people, of course they're also not going to book. And that's what they were doing wrong mostly. But of course, if your creatives don't talk to your audience, to your avatar, to your persona, that's also not going to work, right? Well, three very, very big mistakes. Another one, of course, obviously, they were not tapping into the human emotion, psychological triggers. So Um, yeah, let me just. So yeah, let's do. So let's do. Let me think. 23rd maybe. Yeah, 23rd to now. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, we got it. So as you can see here, here's where we did spend 3,268 US dollars with a 19.2 return on advertising spend with 50K USD in return. Now, I want you to look at this. So look at the clicks. We only had 6,500 clicks for this one. Well, that's a lot, but I'm saying only relatively to the other one. And the previous or the before they're working with us, they had way more clicks, but that resulted in 0 people buying. Now they got 247 bookings. That's what happens when you got a great landing page. I mean, what makes a good landing page? Well, there are many things, but a couple of things I can give you already. Add testimonials, make it super smooth and foolproof and fast. Even if it's a second longer than what it should be, people disappear. Track the people that came to the landing page and retarget them. You can do that through Google as well. Most just don't do it. Add timers, limited offers, upsell. I can keep going. Super important, right? Also, it has to be well in line with your branding, right? That's also one thing people tend to not look at. So yeah, just a quick thing. Okay. So yeah, we can also add frequently asked questions and I can keep on going, but you get the point. So, all right. That's the thing here, right? Now this happened quite rapidly. It's not that this will happen to you as well, right? So we went from, or they went from spending 700 and earning nothing to next month getting 50K for like on pretty much like 3,000 ad spend. Now that's very good, right? What usually happens is it usually the first month or the first couple of weeks tend to go a little slower because, well, the thing is with us, we already have all of these triggers and all these templates and everything ready, right? So we already know what works and what doesn't. All we have to do is we have to test within those video templates and those scripts to see what happens or what works best in your area. That's what we do. But that small testing period can take a couple of weeks, right? Sometimes longer, sometimes definitely longer, right? So yeah, that's all right. So I'm I'll go a little off script now, and instead of just showing that ad account, I'm just going to show you another one. So yeah, let me just yeah, let's do this one. Why not? Okay. So this one is an escape room client, also in the US. Wait, let me just refresh this page. Hold on. Okay. So, all right. For this client, what we did is we spent 5,400 US dollars, turned it into 65,146 US dollars with exactly 12x ROAS. Now, with this client is we basically did the same thing, right? Same thing. This we did within 26, so it's still within this month that we did this, right? A lot of agencies they tend to just show their absolute best result and they act as if that's all they get. Well, we do it consistently. So what can we read off of this? So let's look at the clicks again. So 10,000 clicks, and within that 10,000 clicks, we got all of this revenue. It's still insane if you think about with the other one where we had 12,000 clicks for 700 US dollars. And they just didn't book. Absolutely no bookings at all. CTR's pretty good. We've had better, but that's really solid actually. Can't complain. Yeah, there's nothing more to say about this, to be honest. We did the same things. Filmed based on human psychology, that same old story I already told you guys. So there certainly are going to be people that will say something like, oh, those are in the summer months, it's much easier in the summer. So for that reason, I will go to another client ad account and share you January. I'll show you January. Now, we've been working with that client a little longer. And the reason I'm showing you that is because, well, what's very important to understand is that our systems are pretty much unaffected by seasonal changes, right? Big difference between what we do and what other people do is most systems that entertainment venues use, they focus on the people that are already interested in doing something, going out or whatever. What we do is we focus on the other 99%, right? Just regular people that don't have the plans yet. We create those plans to come to the venue by, well, the very thorough retargeting process and the psychological triggers that we use, right? Throughout various platforms as well. So, yeah, let me show you that. Um, this one. It's quite slow, so I'll pause it until it's loaded. Okay, let's do let's go back to January. Apply. All right, here it is. So for this client, we had spent 3,500 US dollars exactly, 10x ROAS, 35K in revenue. Same story with the clicks, very efficient clicks. Nothing more to say about this. I'm just showing this to, well, make you understand, right? It's not that we had been lucky with one client. We do this consistently, right? So yeah, that's about everything I want to share. I don't want to make this too long. Yeah, that's about it. If you are interested in hopping on board, send us a quick email, and thank you very much. Bye.